Hey y'all, Dr. Rebecca here. Today we're going to talk about a blog post I wrote called Embracing Imperfection, Being Brave Enough to Be Bad at Something New. Like a new skill, a new hobby. For all my therapist friends in the audience, there's like a parallel process happening right now. If you're not familiar with the term, parallel process is whatever we are talking about, the emotions and the interactions and the deeper stuff that we're talking about is also happening in the room, happening at the same time. And so I picked this blog post to be basically my first video because of this parallel process, because I don't know how to do videos. I'm so new at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I think that this realness of trying to be brave enough to just go for it, to be new at something, to be imperfect, is happening at the same time as I'm talking about how important this topic is for all of us. So thank you for being here. Bear with me as I stumble through learning this process. The blog post is really cool. I don't want the blog post content to be the same as the video content, because why would you need both? Definitely head over to my blog to read it. But I think that being brave enough to be bad at something new is a topic that everybody with perfectionism could really stand to take a look at. And so many of us are perfectionists, right? Like so many people I work with, so myself, so many of my friends try really hard at things, and we have really high expectations of ourselves. And that can often be really great. That is one of our superpowers. There's so many times when making sure that things are just right is why we are good at our jobs, or why our lives look the way they do in a really good way. But when I really get down to the meat of it, I really think about imperfection and the importance of imperfection in daily life. We start to see the anxiety in perfectionism, right? And I think that this comes into play when we think about trying something new, when we think about building our lives to be bigger than they are. Imperfection is going to be a major part of that equation. None of us are good at new things. It is extremely rare. And if we are good at new things, then those things aren't very hard to begin with, or we're really not reaching our actual potential that we could have when we actually practice and we get better at it. And so I think that the perfectionism of not allowing yourself to be bad at something new keeps our lives really small, right? We end up doing the exact same thing every day for 10 years. And instead, leaning into the idea that being bad at something new is brave, being bad at something new makes your life bigger, that fear of failure is going to be part of it, but that just because it's scary doesn't mean that needs to change our behavior. I think that all of us have done really scary things, and maybe we're out of practice with them as we level up in life and we become more comfortable with the grander things that we're doing. We're not as used to needing to be bad at something new and needing to find a little bit of comfort in that. So I think that what I'm trying to say here is that I really encourage you right now to ask yourself, is there anything I'd like to try that I keep stopping myself from doing because I know that I will suck at it? Because I know that the outcome will be terrible. Is there any way I'm keeping my life small because I don't want imperfection? And I want you to flip that around on yourself and change the question to, is there any way I'm making my life small because I don't want to be brave right now? And the thing is, I know you are brave. I know I'm brave. I know my friends are brave and my patients are brave, and I know that we can do it. I think in the blog post I talk about learning the guitar and how like truly terrible I am at it. But I think that being brave enough to be bad at something new is partially about the process and the journey rather than the destination, as cheesy as that sounds. I'm a shrink, you know it's going to be cheesy. But like figuring out ways to allow yourself to be bad and for it to still feel good, right? For it to still be like, oh, at least I can be in the moment, or at least I can be like proud of myself for trying something new. I think too, the idea of like, what is it like to take yourself with sincerity rather than with seriousness? Does that make sense? Like how to be sincere versus serious. This video is deeply unserious. If it was serious, I would have any editing. I would have like, I would practice. I would have a script. There would be multiple takes. But I think that the sincerity of being bad at something new is a lot more valuable than taking yourself too seriously. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed the blog post. I hope any of that made sense. I appreciate you for watching. And if you're interested in working with me as a therapist, I'm much better at that than I am at video. I've been doing that for more than a decade. If you live in Virginia or Louisiana, you can click the button right on my website to book a free 15-minute consultation. And until then, thank you for allowing me space to practice being brave. And I hope that you stick around. Have a good day.